We just moved to Hong Kong and instantly ran into the biggest challenge. Apartments here are tiny, insanely expensive, and well, design-wise, let's say there's room for improvement. And since I'm an architect, the space I live in is really important to me and fuels my energy and inspires me every day. Quick notes about the series. Yep, this is gonna be a series. I'll take you along as we search for an apartment and turn it into a home that feels like us. And this first episode, I will be sharing some tips from an architect's perspective on how to choose a place to live. What today's episode is about. Today we're diving into the apartment hunt in Hong Kong. We'll tour over 10 apartments in different parts of the city, explore what surface apartments are, compare them to the regular rentals, and talk about what it's like working with local real estate agents. Why it's useful for you. As an architect, I don't just look at the price. I also pay attention to layout, renovation potential, functionality, and how a space affects everyday life. So where are you planning a move to Hong Kong or anywhere else? I hope this gives you some fresh insights for finding a great apartment in a big city. One of our first places in Hong Kong was in center, a pretty solid option for this area. I actually made a separate video about it, which you can check out, link here. But in short, it was a one-bedroom apartment around 320 square feet. We loved the view, and in Hong Kong, having any kind of view is a big deal. Usually it's just a wall or some else window, and the bed was right by the window, which made waking up and looking outside every morning surprisingly magical. Tips number 1. When you are choosing an apartment, thinking about a little everyday moments that you will make you happy. For us, it was having a bed by the window with a great view. And in case you are wondering, nope, it wasn't too cold to sleep next to the window, even when it dropped to 7 degrees Celsius in winter. Other pros of this place, it came fully furnished. We just bought a small table and some decor to make it feel more us. The building had great shared spaces, a co-working area, a pool, a rooftop with a killer view. It's fairly new and modern, located on quiet street with a beautiful park nearby, but also just steps away from the city's lovely spots, bars, cafe, restaurants, and even the main business district. The location was in walking distance. We hardly ever needed transport because everything was so close. We weren't huge fans of apartments' interior design, same for the building style. The space was still quite small, rent was expensive, between 30k or 40k Hong Kong dollars a month. And yep, it was a service apartment. Quick pause to explain something important about housing in Hong Kong. There are two main types of rentals. One, regular rentals. These usually come with a 24 months lease, but you can often break the lease after 13 months and get your deposit back. You also need to pay the agent half a month's rent and give a 2 months deposit upfront. Rent is usually lower, but the apartments are typically unfurnished, meaning you need to buy everything yourself. Service apartments. These can be rented from just 1 month, super flexible. You don't need to worry about buying furniture, dishes, or even setting up utilities. Cleaning and bills are usually included. They're kind of like long-term hotel stays. And if you rent for a longer period, the monthly cost usually drops. That's what we did with our second place in Hong Kong. Town Place West Kowloon Apartments, about 250 square feet. This is a tiny but super smartly designed studio, just 250 square feet, but somehow it fits a sleeping area, a living room, a kitchen, a bathroom, and tons of storage. Hong Kong does storage really well. They know how to make the most of small spaces. Tip number 2. When you view a place, think about where you put all your stuff. Small doesn't always mean there is no storage. It's all about how it's designed. designed. And this apartment had a crazy view of Hong Kong Island. Tip number 3. If you are looking at a small apartment, but it hasn't a great view and big windows, that can completely change how it feels. Natural light and the ability to see far into the distance visually expands the space. It's actually make you feel like the outside become part of your home. So if you're choosing between a smaller apartment with a view and the larger one that stares at brick wall, trust me, the one with a view will almost always feel better to live in. And the biggest win of this building, the shared spaces are next level. The top 3 floors are completely open for residents. There is a co-working area, a gym, lounge areas with kitchen when you can invite friends over. An insane rooftop pool honestly might be the best view in all of Hong Kong, and an entire open-air floor for workouts, barbecues and even walks with the pets. I made a full video about this building and the apartment. It's actually the most viewed one on my channel. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Tip number 4. If your building has a good shared spaces, that's a huge plus. Even if your own apartment is just 250 square feet, you can still host big parties, chill with friends, or just enjoy more space without ever leaving the building. But after 4 months of living in such compact space, we started to want something bigger. Luckily, the same building had a larger options. We checked out both a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom apartment. We also filmed the lobby. This building has 2 types of lobbies designed by 2 different designers. To be honest, we didn't like this one. Tip number 5. Pay attention to the path you'll take to your future apartment. You'll see that hallway, the lobby multiple times every single day. And if you don't like the vibe, it's going to slowly wear on you. We really prefer the other lobby style in this building. They also found this amazing apartment with a view of the bay, but unfortunately it was already taken. There were also a few other downsides to the building. It's not located in the city center. The kitchen was tiny and combined with a living area. The bed was super small, just about 59 inches wide. The rooms were quite tight in general. Washing machine and dryers were shared and located on each floor. And again, it still is a service apartment, so it's never fully felt like home. There is a hotel vibe that kind of lingers. As an architect and interior designer, I really wanted to create my own space with furniture I love and the layout that worked for us. Another thing I noticed, finding an apartment here takes a lot of time and energy. When you're living in service apartments, it's tempting to rent for just a few months at a time. It's flexible and easy, but it also means you're constantly moving around. Like you go live in Bali for a month and then you back to square one, searching for a new place again. So we decided to look for a long-term rental, something that would give us stability for at least 2 years. A few quick notes about neighborhoods in Hong Kong. Hong Kong Island's Central, Mid-Level, Happy Valley, etc. Think urban hustle super close to business districts. Lots of expats and a very western vibe on the streets. Kowloon and new territories. More affordable but farther from the center. Definitely feel more local and has a stronger Asian atmosphere. Mini takeaway: there are already a ton of great videos on YouTube about choosing a neighborhood in Hong Kong, so I won't go too deep into that. For us, we were trying to find a balance between good location and nice view, which is rare here. Often it's just another building outside your window. A decent amount of space and an aesthetic building. Because I'm an architect and yeah, it matters to me. Tips number 6. Before you start your apartment hunt, write down what your ideal place look like. Which neighborhood, what kind of view, how new is the building, do you care about natural light, layout, design. When you're clear on what you want, it's way easier to find it out. When you're clear on what you want, it's way easier to find it. Personally, my favorite way to apartment hunt, just walking around the city and looking at the buildings. If I saw one I liked, I'd mark it down and then go online to find out what it was and whether anything was available. In Central, one of the biggest issues is that most of the buildings are pretty old, but we managed to find one that I actually liked. We discovered it through one of the housing aggregator websites. For the most part, we use two main ones and arrange a viewing through the platform. Oh, by the way, people keep asking me for the tips what to do in Hong Kong. I've put together a list of my favorite spots. Just DM me on Instagram and I'll send it to you. But hey, make sure to follow me while you at it. Apartment near PMQ, size not specified, assume small, around 350 square feet. Pros: the building had a really nice design. It's right in the middle of the city next to PMQ. A creative hub full of local fashion and jewelry shops. Tip number 7. For every apartment we visited, I immediately sketch out the floor plan, just to see how things could be arranged. So there is such a small apartment. There is a kitchen with a window that you can look out of while washing dishes. There is even a beautiful view, a bit like Hong Kong. There is a large panoramic window. There is a balcony on it. The door opens completely. It is quite a good view for Hong Kong, but I would not say that here. Well, although some hills are visible, that is, some nature is visible, below is this PMQ. This small entrance door itself, you see, the air conditioner is already hidden above it. The most interesting thing comes next. If we go to the bedroom, we go through the bathroom. In the bathroom, there is a sink like this. And here is a double door. You see, it turns out that it opens the shower. Here is a shower like this. The same with the window, by the way. And this door, it works in two parts. There, sorry, and here. Everything here is a little old. The house is 5 years old and already, well, this is a very Western house. What next? Do we go? There is another balcony door here, another balcony there, and on the street here too, there is a Hong Kong view of the houses. What do we have here? The bedroom is quite large for Hong Kong. Here you can put a double bed with two bedside tables, and here there's already a large wardrobe. Of course, I don't like this style a little, but you can probably replace the handles, do something. I like that they hid the air conditioner. By the way, there is also a sliding door here to separate the bedroom from the shower from the bathtub. That is, if you wake up, you need to brush your teeth so as not to wake up the second person. In this particular place, the problem was the entryway. There was no good spots for a coat closet. So your jackets, shoes and bag would basically just live in plain sight, not ideal. So yeah, if you're setting up your home, try drawing a floor plan and mapping out where everything will go. And make sure you draw it to scale. That's the only way to know if things will actually fit. Downside. This was a one bedroom and we realized we wanted more space. So we keep looking. There were a couple of other buildings that caught my eye. They looked amazing. But the apartments were all way too big for us, or just not available at all. We also checked out a building in the prestigious Repulse Bay area, right near the beach, but again, no apartments available. Oh, a quick tip for you guys. If you want my custom Google Maps with all the buildings I liked marked out, the links in the video description, feel free to use it. And hey, drop a like and a nice comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm know these videos worth sharing. Eventually we realized something kind of frustrating. In central areas there just isn't much new housing that has both good infrastructure and great views, and that's also available. So we shifted our search across the bay, just 15 minutes by car or 3 metro stops from Central. The complex is literally right next to the service apartment building where we live in at the time, just next building over. Vika immediately loved the name, Grand Victoria. We found a few listings online and started messaging agents. Apartment with kitchen integrated into the main room. Of course, I drew up a floor plan for this one too. We came across this spacious apartment. It has a very beautiful view, the same as ours in Town Place, but better because this building closes the port. On this side is the kitchen. You see there is a large spacious refrigerator, so there is a kitchen here. The apartment has two rooms, well, like two rooms. This storage room is probably a storage room for a work room, but you see it has such a beautiful view. There's a small toilet, such a warm stone, but in general I expected it to be worse, but in principle it all looks cool for Hong Kong. And this is the bedroom. You see a bedroom with a balcony, a bedroom with a beautiful view. You can go out and admire this view or spy on your neighbors. How about that? It costs $3,500. This is not the city center, but you can get to the center in 20 to 30 minutes. Tip number 8. If you don't have a design background, no worries. You can always ask a designer friend for help. Even a quick consultation can be super helpful, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. You can show them a few floor plans and they tell you what works and what doesn't, which layout is more livable, where storage can go, etc. GV2 furnished unit. This apartment is already furnished, but it costs more. It has a view from the floor above. There is a good sofa here, a good wall here. The bathroom is exactly the same. I will not show. But here there is a room. The mattress is so bright, you see, they make a bed very cool. They put it right next to the window and you can lie there and admire the beautiful view and the neighbors. The furniture is completely built in from floor to ceiling. And by the way, there is a special nightstand, a cutout for the closet is made, and it is very convenient to put something for yourself. We go to the bedroom. In the bedroom there is a makeup area or a desk, a bed. You see, there is even a small passage here. Interior designers, look, there is a very large closet here. What can I say? We like the first apartment better. GV3, same layout, but unfurnished, with a glass enclosed kitchen. So here is such an apartment too. The view is already on Hong Kong. So here is such a kitchen. For some reason, it seems to me that everything is more yellow here. Or maybe the shade is really different. Tip number 9. Pay attention to the view and think about how your furniture will be placed in relation to that view. In this apartment, for example, you could position the sofa in two different ways, but depending on how you do it, it might block the view, or you might end up with a bed that has no space for nightstands and has to be awkwardly walked around. What we didn't love about these units: not enough storage. Face the sunny side, meaning you'd need the curtains closed all day. Tight bedroom space, especially the narrow passage between bed and wall. No space for coat closet near the entrance. For every unit, we also checked out the hallway and the route from the entrance to the apartment. That daily experience matters more than you think. The common areas, though, really solid. 2 outdoor pools and 1 indoor pools, 2 co-working spaces, 2 gyms, bookable rooms for hosting events, and the best part, a beautiful green garden with trees, birds singing. Total oasis. We did have a few design complaints though. We didn't like the overly shining fireplace finish. There was a super flashy chandelier above the fireplace that felt dated. In general, I prefer more modern, minimal interior style. Another point, there are few expats living in this complex compared to buildings in Central. But maybe that's actually a plus. We might be connected more with the local community and feel like real Hong Kongers. So after weighing all pros and cons, we decided to go for the unfurnished unit with a glass and closed kitchen. And then came the negotiation phase. We asked if there was any room for discount, and I made it an offer a bit lower, but one we ready to commit to. But we was a catch. We didn't need the apartment for another month. So while we are waiting and negotiating, someone rented it out. Let's keep it looking. Another one will pop up eventually. For me, being on a high floor is non-negotiable. All my past apartments were up high, and I love that feeling of looking out into the distance. It makes the space feel emotionally bigger and it always lifts my mood. In our option, Grand Victoria, aka our maybe apartment. This one also had some solid pros, lots of windows on different sides. Great light, but not too much sun. Since it's not facing the sun directly, you can actually keep the windows open during the day. Separate kitchen and plus bonus walk-in closet space. A few nice points, not a full view, but still decent. We can place the bed against the wall and near the window to make a cozy nook. You walk through the garden and it's the closet into the metro entrance. The approach to the apartment is lovely. You walk through the garden and it's the closet unit to the metro entrance. Oh, and guess what? Another unit popped up. Same layout we loved, high floor, gorgeous view, but yes, slightly more expensive. So now we are standing at the crossroads. Do we choose one, the smaller unit facing in the sunny side but with a stunning view, or two, the larger unit with more rooms, more function but facing other buildings? What do you think we chose? Drop your guess in the comments and tell us why you think we picked that one. And in the next episode I will share tips on how to furnish and organize a small apartment using the one we ended up choosing. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part of our Hong Kong home series.